if you've been living underneath the rock, there is a brand new release I want you to know about. This is called The Button. There's the name right there, Chris James. Now, this is something he had produced by João Miranda, who's, the best in the biz. And he also has Craig Petty teaming up here on this project as well. And I thought it'd be really fun to take Chris up on his offer. He said, Luke, if you'd ever like me to answer some questions or talk about The Button, I'd be happy to. And I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it.
Whatever anyone asks, because there's a lot of questions, and I'm here to give an honest answer. I really am not going to hide anything back. I hate when I buy a magic trick and I open it. I'm like, wait a second, this doesn't do this, or this isn't like this, or it says no sticky stuff, but my hands, you know what I mean? Like, ask me anything.
That damn sticky stuff. Who uses that crap?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do have a question from someone earlier today that I will bring up here on the screen for you. And this is a good way to kick things off as well. This comes to us from my pal, Mr. Derek Bumpus, and he says to you, not to me, what was the inspiration for The Button? And second part of that is talking about the developmental process of putting out a product like this. So what was the inspiration? Let's start with that.
So the inspiration was... So 6 years ago, my sister was watching AGT. I was watching AGT, and we saw one of the magicians, and she said, I wonder how they do this stuff. And I was convinced it was all like they're messing with the cameras. And she's like, I don't think so. Maybe they're doing stuff with their hands. I made a bet with her. I said, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get a deck of cards because the guy was doing cards. And I think it was Shin Lim maybe. So maybe it was 7. It was a while ago. So I get the cards. And I start playing with them, and I love them. And one of the first things I had ever seen when I started looking into magic, this is before I knew there was magic shops or anything. I really didn't know any of that existed. I thought you needed to be like tight friends with magicians to get your hands on stuff. And I happened to come across a mystery card box, and he brought it out, and I thought, that's cool, very cool. But then he puts it away, and it's to the side. And I'm like, wait a second. I want it there the whole time. And it's a classic, right? And it's that, and it works that way, and it's awesome. And there's nothing wrong with that. But that idea went to the side, and then I thought, and that wasn't the magic button idea. That was just, what can I do with that? How would I do that? Because I was immediately thinking like this when I first started, because that's why I got into magic, is because of the bet with my sister on how it works. So anyways, the next thing on my list was I saw another video, and I would see videos where they would say, you snap, I snap. And it was always awkward when the spectator's like, oh, why am I snapping? So I thought, what if it's a magic button that makes the snap for them and makes the magic happen? And then for literally 2 years, it was the magic button and card to box on a whiteboard that I just wrote down. And then one day I was walking by, and I look, and they like came together, and I was like, you know what? This is it. And I literally just sat on it for a while, thinking of how it could work and how awesome it would be. I saw Zhao's video saying, if you have an idea, send it in. And I sent it to him. And at this time, I had a lot of thought put into it. And I think that's important. It wasn't just me telling Zhao, you should do this. It was, look, you could do this. You could do this. Look at these drawings. And I think that's important for people that want to go out there and pitch stuff to create, not just, hey, I have a Chicago opener that, I think would be great. There's got to be some thought. They got to see that you care about it. I got an answer back in a half hour. He's like, I love it. Give me a month to make a quick prototype of what you have here. Our team will work on it. 2 weeks later, we had a prototype. And then the last 2 years basically has been making it into what it is. All the little changes, trying to make it the best it can be. That's the answer. It's a little long, but that's what I got.
Well, that's why we're here, right? To have you answer questions like this. So thank you, for kind of going back in time and bringing us up to speed on how this started and then how it actually physically came to be. And what a great honor. I know you work with Zhao on your other release, which is something that you were kind of
heavy metal.
Yeah, heavy metal. But just working with him in general has got to be such a fun process, because he's just got all these toys and all this technology. It's
Yeah, I like, you never know with him. Every time I have an idea about something, like with the button, I never know because I don't know if he has technology of, little bumblebees that fly around with video cameras. You never know what the guy has. I literally, his nickname for me is James Bond of Magic. It
Yep.
really is like that. Um, but yeah, it was a fun process. He's a really nice guy. He's fun to work with. Um, he said it was a pleasure working with me, and he loved how involved I was. And my thing from day one was, if I'm not involved, I don't want to do it. I could care less. I
Yeah.
I want to be part of it, right? It's
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's
It's
got your name all over it,
yeah,
so it better have some, better have you involved.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I want to make the decisions. I want to add little things like on the side of the button, there's like a little nipple that makes it so that's what everyone's calling it now. I called it a knob. Now it's the nipple. Um, but magicians and their jokes, trust me, I've been getting messages of every button joke you can imagine. Um, but I love them. Whatever. So the
They're
little
not
knob
pushing your
thing,
button by
I'm not
doing
a.
that.
This is the kind of stuff all day, all day. I got a great one at 1 in the morning. It was like a storm on the Weather Channel, and it had like a big thing, and it says like, even the weather has the button coming in. I'm like, oh my gosh. Um, but I'm not a worker, right? I'm not. I don't try to say that I am. I don't say that I go out there and perform for tables. I just like performing magic for people that will watch it and see it and be a part of it. And that's it, man. And but I had to think like one, right? I had to think like one. And I had to ask my worker friends, what would you want from this? And I was watching a video of me doing the switch, trying to like come up with some stuff. And I kept having to like um, I had to like take it in my hand and turn it this way and turn it that way. And I was like, you can't do this. Cause I'm not focusing on anyone at this point. Imagine if there's 8 people, and you have to have your eyes, there needs to be something that is for feel. So you don't even have to look. So little things like that we added there to make sure
Yeah.
that it was there for the workers.
Yep. Um,
Yeah.
Speaking of workers, I know that Zhao put something out about this, and I know that we did as well. But in the trailer, we're seeing a lot of cards being used. Like people. I think that's the most important thing for me to know, other than this is a worker, is that this is
Yeah.
not just something that only works with playing cards, right? I think that's an
No,
important thing to have
absolutely
people
not.
know. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I already have people, lottery tickets, bills.
Yep.
Um, and the workings of it. I actually, and some of this I didn't want to include in the project because I think we included enough.
Oh yeah.
Um, and I wanted the Facebook group to kind of be the place to let the people shine and let them have some ideas. I really think that's important to like, make those people feel good about coming up with something. I love that. So I even messed around with like the like 3D. They have like that 3D printing where it looks like something's popping off of like coins and stuff. That stuff works. So there's a lot you can do. A lot.
Cool. Speaking of a lot, I'm starting to get a lot of questions here. So let me just grab a quick one real quick here. Hungry and Hungover. Now that's a name. They're asking if, honest question, which obviously you said earlier you want to be honest.
Yeah.
What separates the button from the other mystery boxes? Obviously, you talked about, you saw an early version of it. So yeah, what separates this from other mystery box / card to impossible location type of routines? Why should we purchase this over other options on the market? That's pretty blunt there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it. So I'm gonna go off of what me personally, and like I said, you have the main character of the show. It's like watching a movie and having Robert De Niro come out and be badass, but then go away and only come out at the end. I wanted Robert De Niro to stay there the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big, and like I said, I'm not knocking regular mystery boxes. I think they're great. I mean, of course, right? I mean, this wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those and stuff. But there's something about the spectator in being engaged with pressing that button and being part of that. There's a live performance where there's a guy at the end, he's just screaming. I know he posted it somewhere. He's screaming, "It's the button! It's the button! It's the button!" Because he was pressing that button the whole time, and it kind of makes it opens up. It puts a different angle on it, right? It puts people make jokes, right? So it's like you can kind of lighten the mood a little bit. The button is a modern thing that everybody knows from like AGT. Like make my wife disappear. I'll press the button. Think about this. You could do something really funny. Let's say there's a wife and a husband, and this is the magic button that um, works. I don't know. You hand it to them, and the wife goes to do it, and she does it, and it works. You hand it, the husband does it, and it doesn't. Be like, well, it only works for people that are good looking. Sorry, give it back to the wife. You know what I mean? Because you have control over that.
Yep.
So I really think it. I don't know, Luke. When you look at it, because you've been in this industry forever, I really truly feel like it puts like a whole new spin on it and opens up the doors for so much. It's not just a mystery box to me. It's really,
Yeah.
it's almost like it's mystery box last, in my opinion, for me. But I know that's what it's become. Can
Yeah,
you
and I
say
love
something
that.
about it? I would love to hear
Well,
your opinion.
I love the fact too that something else I want people to make sure they know is that um, if you hear the button on one of the, I don't know if it's on any of the trailers, the noise that it makes when you push it, but I want
Yep.
people to know as well that's customizable. You can change the sounds
Yep.
that the button make along the way too. So that's something you would set up beforehand, but that is something that you can change the sound of. So you can make it funny, you can make it more serious, and again, without touching it at all, you can make it to where the button will not work for one person, but it will work for another person. And again, you're not having to touch the button at all during that, which I think is a
Yes.
really, really nice touch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's great. Yeah, I
it
mean, it
opens up the
is.
doors. That's the answer. So.
And it's just an interesting looking thing. A lot of times card tricks play
Mhm.
small because we're looking at our hands or everything's happening here. But when you bring out something like this and you have
Yeah.
this novel look, and I want to give you guys props too, Chris. You guys could have very easily just taken the button and put it
Yep.
in a box. But I also wanted to show this just real quick that you also
Yeah.
received this
Go do
this
it.
beautiful case um, that the button comes inside of, and it's got this really nice red inlay to it. It just looks the part. It just looks really, really nice, and that contains the button. Um, Getting into specifics, I had a couple people ask this, and
Yep.
that question was from Jay over on YouTube. Is the whole thing 3D printed? I know there's been some questions asking
No.
about 3D printing, so I'll let you take that.
Okay. So first thing, I want to know your honest opinion. When you're holding it in your hand, does it feel cheap? Does it feel 3D printed?
No, and
Everybody, before I say anything, just say what you want to say. I don't want to influence it. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so I'll say right away the answer is no, because a lot of times when you get something 3D printed, it feels light, it feels like cheap. Because the button itself also has the components in it, the electronics and that, this thing has like real weight to it as well that feels like this is something. And it doesn't look cheap either. I want to say that
Yeah.
for my honest opinion. Oops, my
Okay.
honest opinion. It does not look or
Yep.
feel cheap in any way. So,
Okay. So the answer is the red part is made from injection mold. It had to be because you have to be able to press it if it's sideways, if it's I didn't want it to just work on a table. It needed to work, people have it in their hands. If it wasn't injection mold, it wouldn't click for some reason. It was very weird.
wow.
So the red part was injection mold. And the click is nice, right? The click feels like a button. Um, that was important. It had to click,
Yep.
and it had to feel like a button. Um, the bottom part, it's the prototypes were all the normal 3D printing and all that. This is made with ABS and it's multiple layers. And there's a few reasons why we went with this, and ultimately we talked about it. We could have went with injection mold, but it would have cost like $200 for you to buy it. It's ridiculous. When I got that in my hands, when it was like the test, and I was like, because everyone here is 3D printed and we're worried about it, but I feel like we're past that point of 3D printing where it's like, right? They make engine car parts with this stuff. Lego uses it. It's no joke. And it's smooth, it's nice, it's heat resistant. I've literally tested it off my balcony. I've thrown the button off my balcony to see. It doesn't do anything. I did. I tested these things. Zhao said, "You test, don't you?" I said, "Yes, I do." Um, my roommate was sick of it because I sat there for 10,000 times pressing the button to see how many presses. So on the older versions, but anyways, yeah, it doesn't feel like 3D printing. It has a weight to it, and it feels nice. It has to feel nice in the spectator's hands, right? They're holding it the whole time. If it feels cheap and 3D printed, you already lost. Going in,
Yeah.
it needs to be nice. So yeah, and the one in the trailer, if you look, you might see the one in the trailer. There looks like there's some lines. The newer ones are better. They were able to smooth out and make it better. That's like a year and a half old version in the trailer. So yeah, I made the decision because I wanted to keep it under $99. Day one, Joao and I said, he said, "What do you want the price to be?" I said, "It has to be under $100 because I know his stuff is insane, right? Like it can get all tech and I didn't want it to be a $300 button. And sometimes you have to make decisions to do that, but I wouldn't have went with injection mold because I don't want to outprice it for people
Yeah.
when this feels so good itself.
Yeah. The other thing I
Yeah.
wanted to mention while I've got you on the screen here is this switch looks
Yes.
fantastic. I think that's something that's almost getting lost in this because people are so interested in the
Yes.
specifics of the actual unit itself. But this switch is here, and the retention and also how clean it is afterwards. We'll just run this real quick. They see the card, you tip it out, you show the inside of the thing again, and now the switch is done. Why don't
Yeah.
you kind of focus on that for a second? Because I feel like that's something that
Yes.
while the noise is cool and the remote's cool, to me, when I saw how the switch worked, to me, that was almost like my favorite part. So,
That's me too. I want to class videos everywhere on the Switch. Um, so the one Craig's doing is your typical what do you call it? The
the
shuttle
shuttle.
pass one.
Yeah.
But I have a couple that I teach where you can show this hand empty. And I teach it on there, but they're great. And my friend came up with one. The switching gimmick inside of it. If Ja was here, he would go on for an hour about it. Um, it's not just a flap. There's so many. If you actually open it up and look, it's made up of like 12 different parts. But it's put together so well, and it doesn't just work. We had to do Jao coined it as airflow notches. Um because like the airflow of the thing, I'm telling you, the guy's nuts. But so in the best way. So yeah, the Switch is so beautiful, I think, because there's this thing where it's like they're seeing the card when you're not used to seeing it. It's like the card's falling out and it just continues to fall out, right? Instead of closing.
Yep.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yep.
um
Oh,
and
yeah.
especially with the one that I came up with where you do it with the one hand, it looks like it's just dumping into my hand.
Yeah.
When I sent it to Zhao said, "Yeah, I like it, but we can't lie." He literally said that to me, and I was like, "I'm not lying." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We can't post something that you're editing." I said, "No, it's a Switch." And he's like, "There's no way." And I showed him. He was like, "Okay, I can't even believe that."
Done. That's
You know?
great. That's great.
Yeah.
Love it.
And you could
Um,
switch to different items too. You could do like a blank card that comes out blank, right? And you have their card there, and like, "Oh, that's weird." And we could print it, and then you could switch it. You could put it in your hand, and then maybe like, I don't know, take a red pen and act like you're coloring the thing. I did torn and restored. You could like tear up pieces, and it's in there, and then restore it.
cool.
I wish I would have gave you those videos to show, but
Well, lucky
yeah.
for you, Chris James, I did a little homework and I
Oh.
have the instructional stuff right here. Look at this, dude. I got it all right
Hmm.
here. So while I don't have the exact videos you're talking about, I do have the sections that you posted, I think today, if I'm not mistaken, or yesterday, showing what's
Yep.
on the instructional
Yep.
page for this, right? Um, so
Yes.
if you want
And
to
that's
kind
not all
of,
of it. That's just, yeah.
if you want to kind of talk about the how deep this goes, I'll kind of go through some of the sections. I did slow it down so it doesn't go as fast, but how to add sounds. We just had a question from Ken Dumb asking, can you change the sound effect on the fly at a gig? Is that something that's easy to change when you're not at home?
Yeah. So, straight up honest, if you have the micro SD thing, there was a point where you have to start thinking about what type of reader do you want to give? Is it USB-C? Is it USB-A? Is it, and Jao was talking about in other parts of the world, A is more popular and C is more popular. So we just went with the most that people can plug it in. But if you go to Amazon, you can literally get an USB-C or whatever your phone is. I bought mine for literally $2.50. It's just a little thing. And you can change on your phone right there. So you would just plug it in. Obviously, you would need to have like a little area. You can't do it like wirelessly or anything like that. As quick as taking it out, plugging it in, and then transferring the file over and then putting it back, like if you're on a break or something. So you can, take about a minute.
Okay, cool. There's that. Making your own sounds. Obviously, if you wanted to customize this further, you can do that, but obviously not on the fly.
Yeah.
We'll get into some of the details here, the slights and the utility moves. I know that Craig Petty is on this the majority of the time, and you're also here, but he really goes into detail on the basics, even of controlling cards, which we're seeing here.
Yeah.
From there, one of the other questions is, do you have to force the card? Well, no, not if it's signed, right? But if you really wanted to just do a quick and easy version, you could do it. And that's also something I want to mention. In the routines, there's actually labeled, and we'll see that, simple, easy to do routines. I think there's 6 or 7, and then all the rest of them are in here too.
So we actually include one when me and Craig were sitting down. He wanted it. I wanted it. I wanted one that was, this is a brand new magician and he's going out and using it for the first time and he doesn't know anything. There's a routine on there. Literally the easiest thing. You don't even use the switch, but the old force, it's in there, no sign card. From there, and it's in order to the hardest ones. You know what I mean? Like you're saying.
It's in order, okay. Lots of love already coming in. People that have received this say the tutorials are also top-notch, not just the prop, but also the tutorials, so that's nice to hear. Also, a question from Ken Dumb, specifically about the button and the remote. Do you have to know what the range is of the remote with the button?
So I know the range is to my living room to my car. But someone else asked that and nobody knows that. So I have today somebody asked that. So Jao is going to tell me what it is, but we had talked about it before. It's pretty long. I mean, I don't know if you would be in like another house or something, or like that on the other side of the restaurant, but we can get you exact numbers. And if you're in the Facebook group, I'll post the exact.
Okay. Also, Hungry and Hungover says if you have an assistant, they can also control the button and your hands can be on the table the whole time. So yeah, if you wanted to have someone helping you, you could just give someone the remote and have them kind of be your assistant secretly.
So can I say something about the remote?
Heck yeah, man. Say whatever you want. This is all you.
The remote is there was a point where we were doing like the old ones that you can buy, but it was weird trying to press it in your pocket. So this one has like a little knob, and like an indentation. So you can just come here and you can literally just tap it with your thumb. I mean, it is literally just like that. The remote's pressed. I pressed it, and it's pressed, right? So
very cool.
It's pressed. So there you go.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the one that you have, is it I wanted to come to this one instead. Is it the same remote from the Ultimate Smoke Watch? Does it look similar, but it looks a little bit curved, the one that you have in your hand there?
You know what?
I have the unit.
I don't know about the Ultimate Smoke.
Let me actually pull out the one I have on me. That'd be a good thing to do. Duh.
You have an Ultimate Smoke Watch one?
Yeah, that's the one I was holding up. So yeah, they look like they are, just so for reference, so people know that might have one.
Yeah, let me see.
Let me actually come back to my shot real quick. Pardon me for taking over. The one on my hand here, this is the one for the button.
Oh, there you go.
And this is the one for the Ultimate Smoke Watch. So anyone that had the Ultimate Smoke Watch is the exact same size. The middle of the button, looks to be about the same size too. So it looks exactly the same in my eyes.
So these were
Um,
being developed at the same time. So I don't know if it was right. The smoke watch he just came out with, right? Like recently.
yeah,
Is that what
within
you're
the
talking
last
about?
year or so. Yeah, it's been a few months. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So there was a point, I think he even had the remote for the button on the original smoke. And then at the same time that this needed to be changed, both kind of got the upgrade, right?
yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So it worked out for both. But yeah, if you have the ultimate smoke watch, there you go.
Also, a question that I had before about the remote. Twofold. One, is there? I'm trying to find where I saved it. Here it is? Ray Coleman. Thanks, Ray, for the question. Is there a delay with the sound when they push the button? So that's a great question that people want to know. Is when you push the button on the remote, does that is there a delay between when you do that? Because when you push the
Okay.
remote, that's not. Oh, excuse me. They're talking about the actual button. So when they push the button,
Yes, I get this.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So in the videos that Craig did, my bad. I sent a sound file to Jow that had extra sound in the front.
ah,
So when they're pressing it, and it could still be on the ones now. If you go in, I wish you could hear the one I have, but I have these freaking, actually I don't even think I have the right one. The right button. If you go in, um it's not like what you see in the trailers. I hate that got there. I didn't even think about it. I didn't realize it. But the sound, if you go in and where I teach you how to do sounds, you can take off the front and you can kind of get it right there. So when you press it, it goes ding, ding,
got it.
ding. It's not going to do the second they, because if it's too sensitive, it goes off in their hands. So there's got to be a press, and it's about as quick as ding,
Yep,
ding. In the trailer, it's ding because I effed up. Um,
got it. No, and I think you're
so
right. You
yeah,
don't want to be too sensitive because then it'll just keep going off all the time either. So yeah.
yeah.
And while you were doing that, if anyone heard it behind the scenes, I was making sure I didn't confuse the remotes. So I was testing my Ultimate Smoke Watch with this remote to make sure it wasn't the remote for the button because I got confused.
Yeah.
So now we're good. Also, want to give a quick shout out, and I think you might appreciate this too, Chris, because this is your creation here. Dan Sperry's in the house. Always a pleasure to see Dan.
Whoa.
Dan says, all this info is awesome, and hearing the developmental backstory was cool too. I just bought mine from the ATM shop. Looking forward to playing with it. So, one, Dan, thanks for the support. Thanks for being here.
Ah. Mm,
Oh, wait,
I
we got to
can't.
get this.
I can't.
There we
Uh,
go. Yeah,
I don't even know. I got chills right then. Okay.
Dan the man.
Anyways,
It's good to see you, Dan.
that's so cool.
Yep,
And I
Dan's.
love the backstory too. That's why I'm telling it.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's important. But
yeah. And people want
yeah,
to know. It's like because not everyone's creative. Not everyone can come up with magic tricks like yourself. So it's like, how do you even like think about this as like a magic trick?
I
So
have I actually have a tip, advice when people ask me, and sometimes I'm like, why are you asking me? You know what I mean? But I guess if they want to ask, I have an answer, and my answer really is because they'll say, when I sit down to create magic, that's what I get. I say, stop sitting down to create magic. First off, um, everything for me is, it's not like a sit down at the table and create magic. It's a lot of at the store seeing something now how it is now. You're buying a pack of gum and the flap thing comes. To me, that's how it is. And really, stop thinking like a magician, and think, get your head out of being a magician. There's a time for that when you're in the creative thing. But at the beginning, stop thinking like a magician, because I think the button was literally me thinking as a layperson, because I was a layperson.
mm,
So I think that's what I would say to somebody. And I'm sure other people have different advice. Uh, you know, that is great advice that I've gotten along the way and stuff like that. But
yeah,
yeah, stop trying to force it. See, and sometimes challenge yourself. Go to the dollar store, take $3 and buy 3 items. Let some kid grab an item and choose for you. Go home and just see what you can come up with as like a creative thing. You'd be surprised what your mind will do when you let it.
Unfortunately,
So
the dollar store now is not $1, so $3 might get you
I
two
was
things instead
literally
of
gonna
three.
say, you're gonna need at least 5 for 3. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. A quick question I've seen a couple times, and I think I know the answer to this, but this is your effect. Does the button light up? That's a question people have been asking about. When you push it, does it light up?
So okay, me and Zhao are talking now that this thing is like going. Trust me, later down the line will be. I don't even want to say much, but not anytime soon, but there's going to be some really fun stuff. But right now, the button does have a light on it. It's not meant to light up, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like meant what you think. It's a little light that lets you know that your remote's hit. You can cover it though. You can just put a little thing or whatever you want to get. We talk about that. It lights up, but not in the sense that you do. But stay tuned. How about that?
All right. Very good. Very good.
It does
Uh,
glow. It does glow under the like night lights and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
oh
you
yeah.
see in the trailer, it glows. Yeah, but no
Uh,
light.
let's see. I'm looking for some other questions here. We got that one. Another nice comment here. Got my button today, winning. So we got another friend out. Amazing Gary. He's digging the button. Let's
Amazing Gary.
see.
I love it.
Okay. Real Radical wants to know. I have a question. Are you guys giving away the button for tonight's big prize? We are actually. So if you guys are in the running for some magic tonight, you want to be one of our supporters out there, we are going to be doing a copy of the button for one of our viewers tonight. So we'll get into that later. But yes, Real Radical, we are giving away that as part of our big giveaway tonight. Yep.
I'm so happy that you are because when I was coming up here, I was like, total had plans to be like, I'm going to do a button giveaway. I don't have any left. I don't have any left.
Good problem to have, dude.
So I felt
Good
bad. So yeah.
All good. I got you covered. A couple more things here I wanted to mention with the, you guys are actually looking at the instructional page. Again, they go over card controls, how to force a card. Also, the most important thing here is folding up cards. Now, obviously, there's a popular way to fold cards, but Chris will let you know too that other than just the traditional Mercury card fold, there's also a one-handed fold that is taught here.
Yep.
And both of these are also taught with heavy misdirection built in, so you don't have to do a perfect fold. But I'll let Chris tell you more about that. So
Yeah. So somebody messaged me. I've had a few people say that I love it, but I don't know how to do a Mercury card fold. I said, either do I. I've tried. My Mercury card fold looks like a broken leg when it's done. I mean, it's not good. But Craig, and I was worried about that from the beginning, obviously. And Craig quickly showed me a way of doing it that was really great, and it's easy, and you really it's simple. If you don't know how to do a Mercury card fill, don't worry because it's covered in the tutorial. And I got to say too, we're making little updates to the tutorial as time goes. I tried to make sure everything was there. We tried, but as we get questions, there might be things that we can add. And Craig doing what Craig does, you'll see stuff on his YouTube channel, I'm sure. So stay tuned for all that. But again, join the Facebook group, please.
yep. And
It's
that's the nice thing
all
about
there.
Facebook groups. You can talk shop. On here we're trying to not share too
Yeah.
much because this is a public
Yeah.
forum. But so many different minds coming together, along with Chris, the guy behind the whole thing. People sharing ideas publicly and helping each other. Definitely check that out for sure. Be part of the community.
I don't have the link for the Facebook group. It's called like Button Magic or something. I think it's pretty easy to find.
Okay. I will look that
Yeah.
up while I'm looking for my next question here.
Because it's free for anyone to join. Like you don't have to know
Oh,
the passcode. I'm just letting magicians in straight up. You know how I know you're a magician? Mutual friends. I make sure, come in. We're talking switches. We're talking everything. Like I said from day one, I just want to have it all out there. And if you don't know if you want the button or not, come into the group. And if you don't want to buy the button, at least you'll hear about some good, cool ideas with some magic tricks because the button is literally adaptable to anything that you can, any magic trick that you do, you can incorporate the button into it. We have a twisting the aces routine on there. Coin the cross. whatever, like I said, stop thinking as just a mystery card box. You got the switch thing in here. You have a thing that makes sound, that makes that you're literally taking the power of Magic and putting it into the spectator's hands. And that's fun for a spectator. When you have a card, just think about it. You're doing a color change, just a simple twirl change. They see a card and you're like, here, press the button, and you shake it as you do it. They're thinking that the button is doing it, and it like crosses this weird boundary thing. So anyways,
I also, just so you know, I just posted the link in the chat for our friends who are looking for the Facebook group. So you can click that link, and I think Chris got it right. It is just called Button Magic. But I did put the official link both on our YouTube channel there and over on our Facebook page as well, so everyone can have the
yeah.
link directly to go there. So we got you covered there. Also, we had someone say, it was Rick Andrews, it's got my vote for Trick of the Year. So how does that make you feel out there, Mr.
Wow,
Chris James? Wow.
that's awesome. Yeah, I even seeing it in like the top of Magic things. I never thought, I knew it was going to be cool. I knew there would be people that appreciated it, but it only if only if it was what I wanted from day one. It couldn't. There could be no skipping things and doing whatever. And Zhao, he doesn't do that. Trust me.
Yeah.
So Zhao's team, without that, Craig, everyone combined really just made it for what it is, and I'm honored. But I don't care about all that stuff as much as seeing people do stuff and hearing ideas. That's what matters to me. That's my favorite part.
Love it. Ken Dum also says he could see this playing really well in a parlor show or stage with a projection, a larger and louder one.
Yes.
So maybe even a bigger version one day. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah.
That would be cool. I've had two people that are literally incorporating it into their stage shows, and I'm like,
Wow.
when you figure it out, like someone's gonna like have them run up on stage and do something. I love that, man. That's so cool. I'm not a stage magician, so I didn't know that, going in, but that's cool, But I love the idea of a bigger one. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
cool.
John Carter asked, and I think we did briefly cover this earlier, but I take it other things can be produced other than cards, billets, bills. So again,
Yep.
just quickly, yeah, anything that's smallish that
Yeah.
looks about the same size. Yes, you can have like billets or bills. So yes, you can do that.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely wanted to make sure we got that in there. Let's see. I'm just looking through any other questions. Let me go back to the instructional here because there is a lot. And anytime Craig touches a project anyway, it's always going to be
Yeah.
like packed and then some. So we've gone through again what's on there, controls, forcing card, folding the card, which is
Yeah.
important. Of course, you have to palm a card too, at least the small folded version. Color changes, switches that go into all the different switches. Chris has included his extra switches there, as you can see. It's important to note. Utility moves, all that good stuff. Then you get into the real specifics of the routines, which, again, this is not
Yeah.
just for card stuff. And here's what Chris was talking about earlier, and Chris, I'll let you take over. I don't know if you can see this or not, but the
Yep.
routine there says self-working trick, easy to do.
Yeah.
You can see that mentioned a couple different
It's
times here. Easy to do, easy to do, easy to do.
yeah.
So yeah, you guys really have made
We
this
wanted
something that a lot of different people can use at different skill levels.
Yeah, and believe it or not, this isn't the whole tutorial. I left out about 6 or 7 videos that are above because I didn't want them to reveal too much.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole But yeah, so when Craig's on there, you're gonna get a lot, and I can't stand watching tutorials that are one big block. And either Ja wanted to do it too. They're very well sectioned out. Craig will literally tell you in the tutorial, if you know this, you can skip this whole section. Yeah, so it's cool, which I appreciate that kind of stuff. But there's some really cool tricks in here, man. Like back to the future stuff, Buzzer Monty, AGT tricks. My favorite is the card under button with the box. Oh, I love it. I love it. There's written prediction things. My favorite trick I've heard yet from someone who got it. It was a comment, and he said we did a triumph with it, but he said, imagine having a black cloth and you do the deck and it's all mixed up. and you put the black cloth over with a button, and they press the button, and the button makes the sound of cards shuffling and coming together. And then when they pick it up, it's all good. But then they think their card's going to be in there, but it's not. So while the button was vacuuming up the or sorry, while the buttons fix everything, you pop it open, it vacuumed up and ate your card. I mean, how cool is that? It's like the funnest thing. There's like mystery involved. It's making noise. Triumph's a classic. So you can just add little things like that and make them better. When I say that, I'm not knocking the old stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, why not have something fresh? I
Yeah.
love the classics. I'm all about the classics.
And the
So
one thing that I really wanted to pause on, you've mentioned the routine here. I'm just going to scroll through it here. This is something I think a lot of people will also find very, very useful, is this routine here, the card under button. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read this today, that this routine is used with permission from
yes,
James Brown. James Brown.
yes, that's it.
So James
That's
Brown's routine is usually a protected secret, his card under box routine. This, however, is now shared in combination with the button, which I think is a great value on its own, to be honest with you. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a great routine.
It's
Yeah.
it's a great routine. Are you kidding me? I mean, we have a live performance somewhere. It's like 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Um, I love that routine. I love watching Craig do it. I mean, it's just a good routine. And man, what a great way to practice and get your chops going with something like that.
Yeah.
But the button helps with misdirection, right? You can really, really let you focus. That was another thing for me, is when I was starting in Magic, I would literally like get the cards in my hand, and I would like be like shaking where I couldn't even do anything. And the button was like kind of in that same era for me, when like that would help, that would give something else, like get something in their hands that they can do, um to kind of get the eyes off me for a second, or the focus off me just for a second. um but yeah, yeah, so
That is a fantastic routine that if you guys have never seen it, you're now going to learn it here, which is freaking awesome. Let's
yeah.
see. Skipping
And the
ahead.
audience, right? The audience isn't expecting it at all. Like the moments, oh my god, it's so
Oh,
good.
yeah. Let's see. We got that.
It goes on, man. I think it's the total of 38 videos.
And then also, there's another one that we also shared the other day, which is a free will type of effect where it's not even using playing cards at all. Granted, the
No.
reveal is on a blank card, but it doesn't have to be. Where you
Uh-uh.
can literally have three different spectators name a number. You open up the button, dump it out, and written down are the three numbers. You could also use it as a revelation for predictions or other stuff as well. And I want to mention one quick thing that I want to make sure there's no confusion about. Is I've seen some people asking
Mhm.
questions, Chris, about the remote and how it's used. This is not
Yeah, yeah.
used. This is not used, friends, where when you push the button on the remote, that makes the noise happen on the button. This allows you to turn the
No.
button on and off. So one person can push it during another routine or during this routine. You push this, and now it won't work anymore. So it's almost like a bounce, no bounce idea, right? Where it works and then it doesn't
Yeah.
work. But you never touch it. You
Yeah.
never touch this, which is the best part.
Yes.
So,
It's the
yeah,
whole point is at the end is they break the button.
exactly.
And you're just the remote's there to do it. Some people might not use that. I know some people said they aren't gonna, they'll just go with the actual button and have the sound on it,
Mm-hmm.
and just do the end that way. I think Henry Harris said that's how he'll do it. But yeah, I just wanted to make it stop working because the card's inside of it. Oh, the card, I know why it stopped working. I don't know who. There was a, remember that old trick from the gaff deck where you open up the deck and the batteries are inside.
Yes,
um
yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
Yep.
um it's Dan, anyways, um like you can do something like that where the batteries are in your hand and they get replaced, and now the card was in your hand and the batteries are now there. So there's cool stuff you can do like that. I do want to say one thing about people, because they ask about the battery life. It's pretty crazy, actually. You can have it on, which means switch on, remote activated. The newest one lasted me 72 hours.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
so that's completely on. I'm hitting it. I'm obviously not there for 72 hours hitting it, but I'm hitting it throughout the day, bringing it with me. It'd be, I would say between 60 and 72, because somewhere during that last 12 hours, it worked once at hour 72, but then it died. So it probably would have died at the 60. Um, and then standby off is like 7 days or something, but then off is like a long time. It's because all you're doing is getting a little sound off of it, right? It's not doing
Right.
anything that crazy. And people want to know, like, is my battery going to die out if I don't charge it all the time and all this stuff. I had one that I didn't mess with much, battery's still good, and then the one that I use all the time for the last year and a half, it still charges and keeps a charge and does. But Jao is really good about helping people out with that kind of stuff. His support team, when they have
Yep.
questions and stuff like that. So battery life, you're not going to die. You can charge it. You can turn it on the night before, go to your gig, and you'll be ready to go. You don't have to do anything else.
Well, I want to continue to virtually pat your back with another nice comment here from another a hero of mine in the magic world, and perhaps one of yours. One and only Chad Long is joining us live, and he says, "My head is spinning with ideas. Thanks for releasing this."
I already went down on my knees I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm just blown away. Yeah.
And
I don't
Chad,
even know what to say. I have
he's
no
a
words.
worker. Chad is a worker, and he knows a great piece of magic when he sees it. So yeah,
Yeah.
that one would definitely mean a lot to me too. So yeah, nice to have you with us, Chad. Good to see you, buddy.
A few friends that I've shown that are like workers there was one that literally said, and I don't want to say it because I don't want to out who he is, but he said, "Can you please tell me when you're releasing the button so I don't release anything beside it?" And I didn't really understand because I didn't really get that part of it. And he's like, "I just don't want to have to compete with it, dude." He's like, "I'll do my trick later on." And this is a huge name in magic. That's when I was like, maybe we are creating something special here. That was such a big compliment. But
a
I
couple other
mean,
quick.
the
Oh, sorry.
quotes. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Oh,
no, no. Please, you
it's your
go.
show.
Please, no, please.
Oh, some of the quotes I got, and I know as at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who says what on the quotes. I always say the quotes are for the creators, right? I feel like that's really kind of like to pat your back, to make you feel good. And maybe someone who really appreciates what that person has to say. But at the end of the day, you're gonna buy it if it's something you're interested in, and your friends start getting it and they start doing whatever. So as much as the quotes that I have on there, they're really just to it's more of like a personal thing, really. And then I happen to share them with everyone. But David Regal gave an awesome quote, and um, I'm happy that he did because he has in his book he has a button, and I didn't know that.
Oh wow.
And you have to imagine how I felt. And it's not the same thing. Um, he gave me full. It wasn't like I went to him. I sent him a few of my other tricks, and he was like, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it." Blah blah blah. And then I said, "Hey, you want to see something cool that's coming out?" And I sent him a trailer, and he was like, "Absolutely love it. I'll buy two." And I was like, "Do you know about my button in my book?" I said, "No, I don't know anything about your button in my book." He's like, "Here, let me show you." So I bought his book, and I was like, "What are we gonna do?" He's like, "You're making it 20." That's why I credit him in the credits. You're doing something totally different than I was doing. I was doing something where it's a cheap Amazon thing. So basically it wasn't even I don't even feel like I need to give you permission, but I said I have to credit you. And he's like, "You don't have to," but I had to credit him. But yeah, I didn't even know about it. But think about how I felt he said that, because I'm not going to disrespect anyone. If he says, sometimes even if you don't think it's the same, a creator can really put their foot down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And ruin things. But he was so awesome and so nice, and he just said, "How about I give you a quote?" I don't. I doesn't even phase me. It's not anything. We're not doing the same things here. You're doing something that I wasn't even thinking. You made it 20 times better. So that was an important quote for me to get.
Yeah. And
But yeah.
doing the right thing, by talking to him, and even though you didn't know in the beginning, feeling bad about it and getting his blessing, that's always just the right thing to do at the end of the day. So I'm not surprised you
Yeah.
did that, but I think it's a lesson a lot of people can learn is instead of trying to rush something out, just do your homework, do your due diligence first. That goes a long
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
a
I'm
couple other
glad I
quick.
sent him gifts. So go
What's
ahead.
that?
I'm glad I sent him some gifts. I buttered him up with some gifts without even knowing it. Without even knowing it. Yeah.
Let's see. Is the charger visual on the button, or where is the charge point? So on this itself, I'm looking at it and I can answer the question, but it's your trick. So on this, where is the charge point or charge port rather for the button?
So you would you have to open it and then open it. So it doesn't. Yeah, you would open it, and then inside of here is where the electronics are because they have to be covered and um, make sure that nobody gets to them or whatever. Very easy. You pop it open, and you charge it, and that's where you do your SD cards and all that stuff. Um, and down here is your thing, and then this can sit in like some water too. No electronics, so if you're at like a bar, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Smart.
Um, but yeah,
One other
easy to
question.
open, easy to get to.
Oh yeah, for sure, very easy to open. Yeah. And then with the remote itself, is the remote rechargeable or is it replaceable batteries in the remote itself?
Replaceable.
Yep. Very good.
Little yeah, well, like I forget what they're called, but they're
Like
like
little
little
watch
watch
batteries or
battery
something.
type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And Gello wanted to know again about the remote. When you trigger the remote or you push the button on the remote for the button, do they feel anything happen with the button? Is there any noise with the button?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
Yep. Just wanted to get that answered for our friend Gello.
There's a little light, and you can cover the light if we go over all that. But
Yeah.
that's just for you if you visual cue or whatever. But they wouldn't. Everyone I've known that's been using it doesn't cover it because they don't know. They're not expecting. It's a little dim light.
Yeah.
But if you feel uncomfortable with it, just cover it up. Not a
Yep.
big deal.
I do remember seeing that in the instructional for sure. Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else about
Can I say
this?
one more thing?
I was about to ask you. Yeah. Anything you want to say, please? Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
running out of questions on my side. So please go ahead. Yeah.
So, it's a button. You're gonna have people. You're gonna have asses that come up and want to slam it. Um, it takes a beating. And it couldn't just be like they have to go like that, right? Like it really is, and it will still work. So don't worry about that. I get that asked a lot. Like, I'm worried if a spectator really tries to do it. It's not. It's built that way. There's little things that lock it in place. It's not going anywhere. Obviously, don't open your button up and start punching it. But just know that it stands. It's pretty sturdy. You just saw that I'm going crazy. You know. So yeah,
Uh,
don't worry about that.
what about the switch itself? Is there a noise with the switch? So when you open it up and do the dump out, is there any noise when you're doing the switch?
So we go over that. Because the button has to lock the switch, it has to lock. Um, it has. So if I take the switch right and try to activate it right now, I can go like this, and the spectator can do that if they wanted to. They shouldn't be doing it, but nothing's going to come out. You have to know what you're doing to get the switch going, and then you're good to go. And then you can go like that, and then it's gone. Right? Magic. It it comes because of there's like rubber and it's tight when you first get it. And I go over all this. It's easy. It's simple. You're gonna hear the switch noise, but you have to break it in. And I teach you how to get rid of that if you don't want to wait for it to be broken in. And Henry Harrius came up with a brilliant idea, which he just uses like a real card, like a part of one, and then it makes it go away so you don't have to. So yes, there is a sound, but it's nothing that is going to be in front of the spectator because you're going to fix
Mm-hmm.
that when you get the button yourself. But the thing is it's not something that um, we can do because it was important, I think, that people set their button up with the card on their own so they know how to do it in the future. Um,
Right.
so yeah, it's a very easy thing. I don't want to get into exactly, but is that a good enough answer? I'm
Yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah.
answer it without. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, some things that we've used in the past as magicians, they are loud, and people say, "Oh, just do it in a noisy environment." You're not gonna have to worry about this here, guys. But it is nice for Chris to let
no.
you know that when you get it, you do need to work it in a little bit to get it to where it's not going to do
Yeah.
that right out of the box. You might hear something, but as you go on, you'll be fine.
Yeah, and go into the troubleshooting section, and I give you a solution that's literally a 2-second thing, and it will go away, and then you don't even have to worry about doing it. I personally don't like doing that because I think making it lock is more important. So I just kind of like to break it in and use it. And plus, really, you should be practicing it before you bring it out,
Yeah,
and you should be breaking it in, right?
amen to that.
So, yeah,
Another nice comment for you, Chris. I love pouring these on because you deserve all of this and then some.
yeah.
Paul Knight says, "Receive mine and love it. It's very robust, and the switch and reset is deadly deceptive and easy. This is a worker."
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I appreciate you, Paul. Is it Paul, right? It's hard for me
Paul
to
Knight.
see.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Paul. It's the reset. People have been asking me reset. And um the reset is so let's say they um you know the button came off and they're you can give them this, maybe, I don't know, whatever. You have the button, everything's done, you're taking it back. For me, make pretend this is a spectator and they're holding on to it. I can do it with one hand. I'm thinking about posting the video on there to kind of teach it, but reset is that, and then you just come over, put your button back together, and do it as you're walking away. That's reset. And I even fumbled there a little bit because I was doing the wrong thing. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Reset's like 3 seconds, and it's
Perfect.
ready to go for the next table.
Also,
So
some love for you, especially when it comes to something like you just did. Ken also says, "Thanks for the honesty and transparency, Chris. Love to hear directly from the creator. Thank you for the time. This will be sold
yeah,
out quickly." Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate it because I like the honesty when I'm getting something. No need to
Hungry and
hold
Hungover
anything back.
also says he's been upfront and honest about everything. Wish him nothing but success with this and future releases. Seems like a great, cool dude. Cheers. True dat.
Thanks, man. I
Um,
appreciate it.
and Eric says definitely going to order if I don't win tonight. Also, big fan of Merger. Great work on creating awesome
Oh,
magic. So there you go, man. You
thank you. Wow.
got the momentum rolling now. All this Chris James
Yeah.
talk.
Hey, I'm just sharing stuff that I want to see out and I want to play with. That's,
I like
that's really
that.
what it is. It's fun.
I like that.
Um, and seeing other people do it is really cool.
Another person saying, well, actually this time saying best of luck for trick of the year. So Michael is definitely loving it, and is
Thank you, Michael.
hoping for trick of the year because they do those things on the cafe, all that stuff out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very cool.
Um, yeah. So lots and lots of love for this. I know that when we originally talked about doing this, I said I wasn't going to keep you more than like, I don't know, 20,
I know
30 minutes, and here we are.
it's always so hard. It's so hard when you get talking about it, right?
Well, especially for you, this isn't just something that you just like, oh, here, I want to do this trick. No, there was like a lot of thought, and it's obviously like your
Yeah,
baby. It's something you want people to know
exactly,
the details and what it is and what it's not, because a lot of people think one thing, and then you're like, no, why didn't you just ask me? That's not it at
exactly.
all. So
Yeah.
just looking through, I think I got pretty much everything on my end. Were there any last kind of thoughts, any things you want to make sure people know, or just about the button that you're like, because the thing you just mentioned a minute ago was something I'm really glad you brought up. You're like, yeah, the reset. I should talk about the reset because that's
Yeah.
important. But any other things like that you think people should, or you want to make sure that they do know about when it comes to this?
What did we cover? Reset. Be creative. That's important for me. About the button. You mentioned the case. It's like a
Oh, it's
soft
great.
hard shell, so it's really
Right.
nice. Um, yeah. What else?
I also like that you
Gross.
mentioned that it is waterproof on the bottom. So if you are in a bar
Yeah,
situation, you don't have to worry about, oh man, I don't want this to get messed up. Like that's very cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we covered it all, if I'm being honest, unless somebody else has a question.
Were there any cafe questions that you just kind of shook your head at that you're like, well, damn, maybe I should just ask that, answer that here because people ask that there, and you're like, well, I didn't even think of that. Deal with a cafe.
What's
Yeah,
it?
that
There was
goes.
one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was one. Some guy said it was ridiculous that you had to press the button every time the spectator had to press the remote every time. And I was like, that's not
Oh,
how it works. He thought you had to time it. Somebody else said that, and I love her to death. But my mother commented. She's been following along. She said, "What planet are you on? Why would there be something where you have to time the button press? It doesn't even make sense. I'm not even a magician, and I understand that." I said, "Mother, please, please don't like." And because she's like having fun following it along with some stuff, right?
oh
And
yeah.
because she's on my Facebook, and she commented on a few things, and she even learned terminology, and it was crazy because at the end of the day, and I don't speak to her. We speak about magic in a different way, but not. She goes, there was a guy that's saying it didn't make any sense to bring the button out at the beginning. I would bring the button out at the end, and my mom's like, yeah, but you're gonna have a whole routine, all the different phases. The button comes out at the end. If I'm looking at it as a layperson, I'm gonna be like, where does this button come from? She's like, maybe you should sit down and really think about how you're presenting your magic. I'm like, Mom, you can't talk to people like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
Mike Hankins had a nice comment. What I love about this is you released a stepping stone. Magicians always talk about creativity and where and how to find it. This will bring upon your creativity. Yeah, just the button itself is a stepping stone to, well, damn, what do I want to do with this? Yeah, there's a lot of great routines, but
yeah.
and there is no shortage of ideas because this is just fun. It's a fun prop. It's easy to use. The switch again, guys. When you get this in your hand and you see the moment where you see the thing in there, you do this, and now it's gone. It's
Yeah.
just freaking cool. It's just a really cool moment. There's a lot
Yeah.
to love. Also,
Yeah. I have a feeling that there's gonna be a lot of wives that are gonna be pissed off by this thing at the house. Anyways.
and Paul Knight
Yeah.
also had a nice comment. People might be a little worried about folding cards. He said, just openly fold it, and it turns into a battery. Job done. So he's talking about like the transposition of the battery in the
Yeah.
card. So you don't have to do it secretly. You can transpose the card into
Yeah.
a battery, visibly too. You can do that.
Yeah. That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. And Ken again, another great comment here. I can see this as a trivia question, kind of confabulation routine. The bonus question being the breaking the button, and yeah, you could do it as a game show thing. You could do it.
Yes.
Anything goes, right? Anything goes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Jao wanted to do a game show. And we discussed it, and it was one of those things. For some reason, we just couldn't figure it out. And we kind of were like, you know what? The magic community will do something with that for sure.
Oh yeah.
But a game show idea is really cool.
Yeah. And I'll ask just one last question because I think this is one we have not even touched yet. David wants to know: can you control the volume? So obviously the button is what's making the noise. Can you make that louder
Yes.
or more quiet? You can.
Yes, you can. I go over it. It doesn't have a volume knob, but you go on to the tutorial, and I literally give you you don't have to pay for anything. It's all free stuff. It's very simple once you know how to do it. I think the video is like just a few minutes long. When I was first trying to figure this out, I was overwhelmed because I'm really not that good at this stuff, but I figured out to make it so easy for you. It's just boom, there it is, and you raise the volume. You can lower the volume. You have to kind of test it. But yeah, you can raise it or lower. You make it really loud. You can make it really dim. Some of the routines. So there is something else I could talk about that I think is really cool that maybe somebody could do something with. It's not meant to play multiple sounds. That's not what it's meant to do, but it does.
Mm.
So, but it stacks sounds. So it's really weird. It dings. Every sound file plays twice. So if you do a ding and a dong, the ding's gonna play ding, the ding's gonna play ding, and then it goes to dong. We don't know why. But it's not meant to play. It's only meant to play one anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you have a ding that maybe the next ding is a little bit different and it keeps going, or maybe on six six presses it dings, and on the seventh would be a bang. You can do that. You can set that up with the button. It's not something we're talking about a lot because it's not really meant to be a feature. And if it played singly, I would make a whole thing about it. But that's why I want people to join the Facebook group. So yeah, think about that. You can really you can play an audio book on here if you wanted to. My friend has one where you press it. Every Magic song ever created is like, "Do you believe in magic?" Like all of them are playing in a row. Not the whole songs, but yeah. So you can do some really cool stuff thinking about that. That opens up the doors for a lot more, right? So yeah, I bet you didn't even know it did that. Did you, Luke?
No, I had no idea it did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But what I do know is that I just posted the link again in the comments for the people that want to join the Facebook group. I do know that. So if you guys are interested, because Chris was just talking about it again, I did the homework for you. Click on the link. It'll take you to the Facebook group for the button, which is what we were just talking about there. Another little nice comment here from Timmy over on YouTube. While I thought this was something that I wasn't interested in, yeah, but after watching this, now it moves to the top of my list to buy. Great job, Chris. So yeah, I mean, people see stuff, they see a trailer, they might write it off. So things like this,
of course,
are very helpful. And I also appreciate your time for doing this because people do see,
of course,
the value in this, not just as a one, this is just, oh, I'm buying the button. No, you're getting so much more than just a prop for sure. And now people know.
Yeah.
It's important. And is there a time limit for the sound effects? We'll just end on that. Is there a time limit on that for the sound effects?
What does that mean? What are they trying to say?
So let's say that one of the files you had on your computer or your phone that you wanted to put onto the button, is there a limit on how long that, once they push it, how long that sound can be?
Oh, no. It's the micro SDs. I think it will, it's long, like hours, like whatever the SD will fit. So yeah, whatever you want. If you have a trick where you want to press it and have it tell a story, you can do that.
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
very good. Let me just push my button real quick. Let me just give a little. There we go. That's my little button there. A little. There we go. So,
that's
Chris,
hilarious.
Any other things you want to say on the way? Obviously, we talked about the Facebook group. We'll continue to promote that so people know that there's a community of folks doing that. But other than that, there were people asking, are there any other Chris James things to keep in mind or be on the lookout for? This just dropped. So I'm not asking you like, what's next? What's next? But people are curious.
I have some stuff for sure that's coming, and at one point I thought it was going to be together, but yeah, there definitely is. But I'm big on making sure I can focus on like one thing at a time, and not one thing, but I make sure I don't get too overloaded. So there are things that are cool and fun, but like later this year. And then, so you know how this all works. You can have a trick and it could be sitting there for 5 years. You're working on it, right? Which it can be a long time. So it's so weird. You could think something's coming out in a month, and it comes. This button was supposed to come out like every month for the last year. So it was like Blackpool, Magic Live, all this stuff. So yeah, there's some cool stuff coming. Stay tuned for sure.
All right.
Yeah, some cool.
I'm glad you said
that.
Things
all over the. Yeah.
Just things happen when they're meant to happen sometimes. So yeah, I'm glad you just let it take its course, and now here you are, and it's blowing up. So yeah, it is the talk of the Magic world, and that's got to be a damn good feeling, man. So congrats on that. Let me get one of these. Here we go.
Congratulations! Yeah. That's cool.
That'll be my button thing. That'll be my little button thing. Be like,
you can put it on there.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Well, Chris, I have overextended my time. It's now the top of the hour, and I should let you enjoy the rest of your night, which was my plan a long time ago. But thank you for the extra time.
That's all good. No, it's all good.
It is appreciated.
I appreciate. I love it.
If you guys have any other questions, or if you want to know more about this, or if you just want to jump on into the group, there is a button, Facebook group. We put the link in the chat earlier. I'll do it again in a little bit. But join that, and you'll be surrounded by people that love this as much as I do. and everyone watching this seems to love it too. So congratulations on such an amazing release, and can't wait to see what's next.
Awesome. I can. I'm glad you guys had me. Yeah, I can go for 3 hours if you let me. So I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to kick me out so then my dog doesn't kill me. Um,
Well, I think I can. I think I can do that politely. I think we can scoot you
yeah.
out politely. But yes, everyone in the chat is also saying thank you as well, and also a congrats on such an epic release. So yes, people are loving it, and they're loving you. You know,
Thanks,
people are
Derek.
getting to know you too, which is also a nice thing. So
Yeah.
very cool.
Just trying to be myself. I think that's how you have to do it, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and
Okay.
I'm sure we'll catch up sometime soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Congrats, my friend. Really, really soak it all in and enjoy it. This has been epic. So enjoy the ride.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
See you later.
Do I stop it or you stop it?
I got you. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
There we go, Mr. Chris James. Thank you so much for the time. Our original back and forth was that we were going to hang out, chat for about 20, 30 minutes so he could literally enjoy the rest of his evening. And that has now turned into, I don't even know how long he was officially on, at least an hour, if not a little bit more. So yes, thank you to Chris for all of the time and answering the questions. As Eric says, that's funny. As Eric says, you hang up. No, you hang up. Yeah, right.